angels and seraphs, and welcome to my channel. I'm Artemis. I'm an artist who likes creating OCs, and when I say that, I mean it. I created countless nameless and storyless OCs bound to disappear. I know, I'm a terrible mother. But today I decided to redesign two older OCs and actually give them a story. These two OCs are now part of my personal world, which I've already talked about in my first video. Check it out if you're interested. I'll also put the link in the description. Anyway, let's take these old OCs into our cart and redesign them. So I don't remember anything about Nyx, except that she was a student in a school for wizards. I was so obsessed with witchcraft and magic when I created her. I was 14 or 15, I don't remember. I would look for witchcraft videos on the internet, read articles, read books on astrology and crystals. I also had a notebook where I noted stuff on plants and crystals. I was really into tarot reading. I don't know if you know that, but the general readings on YouTube and stuff like that. I also had an altar. To be honest, I'm still into spirituality, but way less than before. That's still a part of me, and now that I think about it, I never really had the occasion to talk about it. So I wanted to keep this witchy vibe for Nyx, but mix it with some Y2K and marketing, because these are the styles I enjoy today. I also wanted to keep her color palette, because that was my favorite part of her design, and that still is. Also, I think she was one of my first attempts at semi-realistic. I was so proud of her, and I still am. I was watching Frank So's tutorials at the time. I still do actually, because her tutorials are just so incredible, and they really helped me. Anyways, now about her just about her lore, since she never had one to begin with. Nyx is a regular human. Well, to explain my world briefly, there are three categories of people: the regular humans, the angels, and the seraphs. Again, I went more in depth in my other video, but here I really want to focus on my characters. So Nyx is my personal designer. She's calm and chill, but really confident and assertive when she needs to. And she can really get violent with her words if you, for example, attack one of her friends. But like, she won't insult you or anything, she will just destroy you socially. She's private when it comes to social medias. She doesn't share much of her daily life, but she still makes motivational videos to inspire people to be confident and stop being humble. Some say she's arrogant and selfish, but she just doesn't give a shit. I see her as someone who creates opportunities for herself and is unapologetically ambitious. She's the controversial bad bitch everyone either hates or adores. Also, she loves cats. She has a black cat named Dazzle who hates everyone but Nyx. Diana, that we will discover later, is scared of her cat, and when Willow wants to hug her, she always ends up scratched. That doesn't stop her from trying though. Nyx is also a shopping addict, and she likes trying different styles just for the sake of changing clothes. Most of the time, she doesn't buy things that aren't her style, but she still wants to try them on, if that makes sense. Speaking of styles, I want to give her a witchy and magical vibe, as I said. She loves star shapes, rhinestones, shiny things, and cheetah patterns. Oh, and of course she loves witchcraft, but this passion is something that she only shares with her friends. She's mostly a crystal witch. She often gives her friends crystals to bring them luck and prosperity. It's just her love language. When she met Willow, she was just starting her career. She didn't go to a fashion school and had no contacts. Her parents were against her, but she was still confident in her skills and her ability to succeed, so she started posting her creations on the internet while working in a thrift store. She didn't make money out of her creations at first, but eventually she was contacted by Willow, who was starting her acting, singing, and modeling career at the time too. She wanted to make a shooting with one of her creations. Nyx accepted, and they liked working with each other so much that Nyx became Willow's personal designer and bestie. Okay, so when I first created this OC, I was like seeing tons of draw this in your style on Pinterest, so I wanted to make my own. It completely flopped. But then I gave her a second life. Her name was then Zen, I think. I don't know how to even pronounce it. But then I changed it again to Zia. These were random names. I don't even know why I named her like that in the first place. But anyway, she was supposed to go to the same school for wizard that has a super detailed lore with a developed magic system and all. And she was also Nyx's girlfriend. I never drew them together though. That's a miracle I even drew her twice, to be honest. Anyway, now her name has more than one syllable. Her name is Diana. So she's basically a tsundere. She's practically just all bark and no bite. So she often acts angry and assertive, but she's actually really shy and she may be less grumpy towards the one she loves. She's also really shy in front of cameras, but when she does art, she's in a sort of trance. She loves drawing and painting, mostly weird and dark stuff that she feels too uncomfortable sharing. She also has a lycoris, a dragon, a spider, and a Nyx as tattoos. She got them after finally leaving her house. That was the first thing that she did only for herself and not to please her parents. She has a raccoon tail hairstyle. That's why Nyx often calls her a raccoon, which she pretends she hates, but actually it gives her butterflies, and Nyx knows it. She's the youngest of the trio, so Willow sees her as the little sister she never had, and Nyx loves teasing her. At first, Ziana thinks Nyx is intimidating, and she's low-key scared of her, but turns out Nyx has a soft spot for her. Ziana has 2 spiders. Willow hates their guts, while Nyx, on the other hand, is pretty unbothered. Actually, she kinda likes them. She also loves shopping like Willow and Nyx, and she especially loves trying new makeup products in the store, then judge them. Then she gives Willow and Nyx an in-depth analysis to tell them how good or bad a product is. She also has a thing for paranormal things and witchcraft. She's a lunar witch. That means she takes her energy from the moon. Now, about her backstory, Ziana completely broke off all ties with her strict and toxic family, who also rejected her when she came out as a lesbian. She took that chance to apply to a cosmetic and aesthetic school in order to become a makeup artist and hairdresser. During her course, she had to find an internship to validate her year. That's when she found Willow and Nyx on Instagram. She already knew Nyx since she was her best friend's girlfriend, but they had never really been that close. Anyway, these girls inspired her so much, but she didn't feel confident enough to contact them. So then she just liked one of Willow's and Nyx's posts, and that's it, and she didn't think much about it. But Willow and Nyx noticed, and they looked at her profile. There wasn't much in her bio except student at the Cosmetic and Aesthetic School of LA, and some posts of her with makeup. But they found her interesting enough to contact her. So Willow DM'd her and asked her if she did her makeup herself. Ziana felt so nervous and replied with a cold yes. But that didn't stop Willow. She asked her if she graduated or something and if she was looking for a job because she wanted to work with other indie artists. After that, Willow just convinced Xiana to meet with her and Nyx. Xiana planned to show up at the meeting and then turned down their offer before they noticed she wasn't good enough. Then she changed her opinion when she saw the two girls basically just radiating joy and excitement. Nyx instantly put her at ease by telling her that he wanted to make a shooting just for the fun of it. Xiana told them she was just a first-year student, that she wasn't a professional and that she was still learning. But Willow and Nyx looked at each other and smiled. Nyx shrugged and told her, "Cool, you won't be boring, Dad." And Willow added, "Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't create amazing stuff." With that, Xiana finally accepted to be part of their group, and Nyx and Willow helped her to find her internship. That's how they became besties. And even more for Nyx and Xiana. Yeah, Willow noticed there was something going on between the two of them, but they would never admit it, so she took matters in hands. Okay, so before Nyx and Xiana knew each other, Nyx was with Talia, who was also Xiana's best friend. As Nyx and Xiana worked together, they grew closer. Before that, they didn't really hang out together since Xiana and Nyx are both really picky with their friends. But now that they had to work with Willow, they had time to discover each other and perhaps fall in love. Nyx was the first one to notice she had a thing for Xiana, and being her honest and straightforward self, she abruptly broke up with Talia after a year of relationship. They weren't in a toxic relationship, actually. They worked well together, but it lacked something. Nyx thought that ending it there was the best thing to do. Xiana wanted to feel angry at Nyx, wondering why she would do such a thing, but deep down, she knew. She just didn't want to face it. Xiana took Talia's side, but since she was with Nyx almost 24/7, it became more and more difficult to hide her love. But she also couldn't hurt the feelings of her best friend, because Talia was there when Xiana left her parents' house. She was always there to comfort her, so she couldn't let her down like that. She couldn't lose her best friend over a girl she just became friends with a few months ago. That's where Willow comes into play, pushing Xiana to step out of her comfort zone and be honest with her friend Talia and Nyx. She decided to talk to Talia first. Turns out her best friend already knew there was something going on between the two of them. That's what made Talia sick and bitter. So she asked her to choose. It was either her or Nyx. Xiana was about to choose Talia, but before she could do so, Talia added, "Don't choose me because you feel bad for me." Xiana hesitated for seconds and finally replied that she was sorry. Talia shook her head as if saying, "Don't be." And after that, she went to see Nyx to admit she kinda like her a little. Wow. Okay, so to be honest, at the beginning I had zero idea how to include them in my personals lore, but I think they turn out pretty great, and actually I'm kinda obsessed with them and their relationship now. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna make an animatic or something like this because I really love them. And I hope you like them too. And in another video, I'll talk about another one of my OC that I've already posted on my Instagram. But until then, have a nice day or night.